Hi, it's Scott MacArthur here. I was wondering if you'd like to join me in trying to create something that would give us something positive from the public health crisis that we're currently in the middle of with the coronavirus. Thought about it and I wondered, is there a way we could capture the moment? And because technology is as good as it is today, why not use technology? So here I am, and I'd like you to think about it. Now, I know from experience that trying to predict the future can be a pretty embarrassing thing, and this is from the BBC's great science show, Tomorrow's World, back in the late 70s, where they predicted that we'd all be going to work in 2020 like this guy. Well, this didn't happen. So predicting the future is obviously quite difficult. I think the one thing we can say is that what got us here today won't get us to the future. The environment at the moment is complex. We not only have coronavirus to deal with, we have huge exponential changes with things like artificial intelligence, with nanotechnologies, with biotechnology generally. So the world is changing, and how we respond to that, well, it's down to us. And so I'd like you to think about that for me, and if you would like to, get involved. So the first thing I'd like to remind you of, this is not a new idea. Many, many thousands of years ago in France, in a place called the Chauvet Caves, and this is a photograph from it, the children would go up to the walls and they would blow paint against their hands to leave handprints. And this is an example of one of the beautiful handprints that they found in the caves. And these handprints were signals to the future. They are beautifully evocative of what it was like all those thousands of years ago. And we wanted to be artists. We wanted to create. We wanted to make stuff together. Well, I'd like us to do that as well. And I call this being at the edge of next. There's a huge threshold moment we're standing on here. We can choose to take this a positive way or a negative way or blindfolded, whatever we do. But there is a change coming as a consequence of this virus. So, what I would like to suggest or like you to ask you to help me with is to contribute. I'd like people to get in touch with me. I'd like them to say if they would like to have a chat with me on Zoom, where we could perhaps talk about what they think the future could be like, or perhaps talk to me about what the future they would like to be like. Um, I'm not asking you to be Nostradamus. I'm not asking you to guess what the future is. I'm just asking you to ponder it and let's have a chat about it. Let's record. Let's get that hand on the wall of you there forever. Now, I've already created a website for this called Edge of Next, which is registered, but it's not live yet. So that's coming soon. But if you'd like to be on a podcast, or if you'd just like to record, just get your phone out, get this thing out and record. What do you think the Edge of Next will be like? What do you think the future could be like as a consequence of the coronavirus? And send it over to me. There's my email address, scott@sculptureconsulting.com. I'd love to hear from you. And I promise that this is not for any commercial benefit to me or anyone else. I just want to create almost a time capsule that people can see and say, wow, do you remember back in 2020 what it was like? Do you remember what I was hoping would happen? And this website will be there for us all to view, to see the videos, to listen to the podcast in the future. So thank you very much. I really hope you want to get involved. Thanks for your time. This is Scott MacArthur.